Now we are going to perform the nodal analysis when the voltage source is connected directly between the two nodes. For example, this is node 1 and this is node 2, and the voltage source is connected directly between the two nodes. That is, there is no resistor along with the voltage source. And when this is the connection, our nodal analysis becomes much more simple. We will understand this by the help of one example, but first we will understand what are the different cases depending on the nodes we are having, N1 and N2. In case number 1, the voltage source is connected between the reference node and the non-reference node. That is, out of N1 and N2, one node is reference node and the other node is non-reference node. And when voltage source is connected between the reference node and the non-reference node, it falls in case number 1, which we are going to discuss in this particular lecture. In case number 2, the voltage source is connected between two non-reference nodes. So both N1 and N2 are the non-reference nodes, and due to this reason there will be a formation of supernode, and therefore case number 2 is also known as supernode analysis. And we will understand what is supernode analysis in the coming lecture. And now we are going to understand case number 1 by taking one example problem. In this problem, we are having a network in which there are 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 resistors having 1 ohm resistance each, and there is a voltage source providing 10 volts of voltage connected between this node and this node. And we are required to find the value of current I using nodal analysis. Current I is the current in this branch. So let us move on to the solution of this example problem. And we know the step number 1 is to identify the total number of nodes present in the network. And here we are having 1, 2, 3, and 4 nodes. So number of nodes is equal to 4. And in step number 2, we assign the node voltages and we choose the reference node. Let's say this node is having the voltage V1, this node is having the voltage V2, this node is having the voltage V3, and we select the bottom node as the reference node. And we know at the reference node the potential is equal to 0. Therefore, we will ground the bottom node and have 0 potential at this node. So we are done with step number 2. Now we will move on to step number 3, in which we will obtain the nodal equations or the KCL equations for each non-reference node. The first non-reference node is this node. So at node number 1, now before writing down the equation, I want to ask one question. Why do we obtain the nodal equations? We obtain the nodal equations so that we can solve it to have these 3 voltages, that is the voltages at the non-reference nodes. Now what if I say that for this node we can directly have V1 without even writing the KCL equation? Then you will say it is much better, and we are able to do this because we have the voltage source directly connected between the non-reference node and the reference node. So whenever there is a voltage source directly connected between the nodes, the complexity of the nodal analysis reduces. Why? Because we are not required to develop all the equations, and we can have the voltages with less calculations. So let's understand how we can have V1. This node is having the potential equal to 0 volt. This means here also the potential will be 0 volt. Here the potential is V1, and we know the voltage, that is 10 volts, is equal to high potential minus the low potential. So we can say that V1 minus 0, that is the high potential minus the low potential, is equal to 10 volts. So V1 is equal to 10 volts. Let's call this equation number 1. And now we will focus on node number 2. And for node number 2, there is no voltage source connected between the second node and any other node. Therefore, we are required to develop the KCL equation at this node. And we assume V2 to be the largest voltage. Therefore, currents will leave this node. And according to KCL, sum of this current, and this current will be equal to 0. And we know this current is equal to V2 minus V1 divided by 1. So we can write V2 minus V1. Then we will add this current, and this current is equal to V2 minus 0 divided by 1. So we can simply write V2. Then we will add this current, and this current is equal to V2 minus V3 divided by 1. So simply V2 minus V3, and the sum is equal to 0. Now when you simplify this, you will have 3 times V2 minus V3 equal to 10. Why 10? Because we have obtained V1 is equal to 10. So this is our equation number 2. Now we will obtain KCL equation at node number 3. At node number 3, these are the currents leaving the node, and sum of these 3 currents will be equal to 0. This current is equal to V3 minus V1 divided by 1. So simply we have V3 minus V1 plus this current, it is equal to V3 minus V2 divided by 1. So we have V3 minus V2 plus this current, it is equal to V3 minus 0 divided by 1. So we will write V3, and the sum is equal to 0. Now when you simplify this, you will have minus V2 plus 3 times V3 equal to 10, and I will call this equation number 3. And we want to calculate this particular current because this current is equal to I, and we are required to calculate I. Now to have this current, we need the potential at this point, that is V3. So we will solve the second equation and the third equation to have V3. So simply multiply 3 to equation number 3 and then add it to equation number 2. You will have V3 equal to 5 volts. And as we have V3, we can have this current I. I is equal to V3 minus 0 divided by 1. That is, it is simply equal to V3 amperes. That is, I is equal to 5 amperes. This is our answer. So I hope this example is clear to you, and now you can have the understanding that how the presence of voltage source between the two nodes will simplify our nodal analysis.